Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CARTERMATT.com.
And here we are discussing Blue Blood Season 10, Episode 6, and also setting the Reagan family dinner table for Episode 7 and talking about what's going to be coming up there. We have tonight a case of one of the most dangerous assaults of all time. Have you ever been assaulted by a sandwich?
I have not, but clearly it can be pretty bad.
Remember when they brought the giant sandwich into the family dinner table? I think you could legitimately be assaulted by that sandwich.
Yeah, that's a sandwich I would be afraid of, but it was interesting. This sandwich took somebody's fingers.
Yeah, this was a mighty sandwich. It was a mighty hero, if you will. I have all sorts of sandwich jokes tonight, everyone. You're welcome. All right, we're going to talk about everything, including Frank's storyline.
Yeah.
How Anthony has once again played with our emotions all sorts of ways, and of course everything with Jamie and Eddie as well. But before we do anything else, if you like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to CARTERMATT on YouTube, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other updates every Friday.
Yep.
We're back to discuss Blue Bloods. Where do we begin? Should we just pull off the Anthony Band-Aid?
Yeah, let's do that so that we don't save it for the end of the video and then it's just me crying on the video. What a hard story. For me, I love stories of adoption and foster stories and stories that are bringing unlikely people together, or people that are didn't necessarily think that they'd be parents and have put themselves out there to be parents to somebody else's kid and bring them in as theirs. Yeah. And I love those stories, and I love Anthony.
Yeah.
So bringing those stories together for me, this was a storyline I just really loved. I love seeing that side of Anthony. We've seen all kinds of different sides of Anthony.
Yes.
But these two together, I really liked it. So seeing Sam leave, and I was having a hard time.
Yeah, I think this was a sad story, and I think in some ways it was made sadder by the fact that Sam didn't end up going back in the end.
Yeah, it was the last couple minutes were there. I was like, oh, really? Really? You guys are gonna leave me like this?
Yeah.
You can see it. Anthony's kind of turning back, and Sam's kind of turning back. It's just, guys, just come together. You guys can work this out.
Yeah, they could. And yet, here we are. I want to have hope, though. Blue Bloods, it doesn't always give you the continuous story arc, but they've done it here and there. I think Sam could come back, and they could sort of find a way to get back together and kind of continue things.
Yeah, and I hope so. I mean, this is a show about family and work, and so I'm hoping that feeling is going to continue on to Anthony, even though he is not a Reagan. It is an important theme of this show, so maybe, please reunite them. If there's anybody out there watching this video that's working on Blue Bloods, please make this magic happen.
It will make us all so much happier. We will bring you a giant sandwich.
That's right. Giant sandwich.
I don't know where you get one of those. This may be a problem, but yeah, Anthony's story, I think, is the dose of feels for this week. I mean, I do. We got to see how much he wanted to make something happen, but we also saw how much Erin, I think, cared for him. I mean, she went probably, not always in a way that Anthony really appreciated at all times, but I think, Erin meant well.
She did, and I think Erin's was in a position that many of us probably would have been in. If I saw something like this happening with a friend or a coworker who's also my friend, like they have a friendship, I would probably step over the line as well, because it's just such a sad thing. And to see what Anthony brings to Sam and what Sam brings to Anthony split up when it feels like something that could be resolved.
Yeah, and I think it probably could and probably will be resolved. I feel like they're not doing as overt a job this season as last season when it comes to establishing big stories. And if we're to be 100 here on Blue Blood Season 10, I think there are a couple weaknesses to it. And last season you had the Jamko wedding. Last season you had Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah.
You had all that you had like some really good stuff to sink your teeth into. And this time around, I think the stories are a little more subtle. Like, I think maybe one of them is NICKY, and NICKY eventually coming back, because there's still no word if she's gone for good.
No, and I feel that if she was gone, at some point there would be maybe an interview somewhere, or she would have maybe said something, or some of the cast members might have been like, goodbye, here's a cake, here's all of us saying goodbye.
Here's a giant sandwich.
Here's a giant sandwich. There would be something that would be happening to actually say goodbye, and not just...
Poof,
she's gone, and nobody's mentioning it, and it's over. So I don't think that's the case.
And I think Anthony and Sam, this could be another one that sort of plays out throughout the season, where maybe we get another episode or two. I mean, we're not going to get more than that. Blue Bloods is not about to become True Detective, where you get the same story every week, but...
And I'm fine with that, just knowing that Sam is back with him, and that they're working it out.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I don't need to see it every week, but... to know what's happening in the background, I like it. So right now, I do not like this. I do not like this one bit. Okay, I'm done, but I don't.
Okay, well, let's talk about this week in Jamko.
Yep.
As I think Jamie and Eddie, this wasn't a continued story, but it did sort of tie into an Eddie story from not that long in the past when it comes to her opening up about what she has gone through when it comes to photos of her ending up online and kind of dealing with this other sort of case, which was personal in some ways to Jamie. It came from Jamie's friend, and this was sort of the intersection of the law and also family friend conflicts, and in a way it's topical. But do you think that the show played this out in a way that you saw coming, or in a way that was effective?
It felt like it was something that was coming when she was getting really antsy about the photos, about somebody doing something more about it. I kind of felt like there might have been something more going on. For me, the whole meat of that story, if we're going to go back to the sandwich,
oh boy,
the meat in the sandwich was having Jamie and Eddie working together again.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them together and they're kind of around each other, but not really in the, here's a case that the two of us are taking on together and actually doing stuff about it hand in hand.
Yeah, sitting at the table together, getting the answers. It was nice to see that, because a lot of this season has felt like ships passing in the night. Oh, I left you something in the fridge. All right, I'll see you later. Have a good day at work. It was nice to see that together. So while, the story kind of played a little bit like I thought it was, it didn't even matter to me what the story was, because it felt good to have them working together again.
I
liked it.
I think what Blue Bloods is trying to figure out right now, and I don't think it's the easiest thing in the world to figure out, is how do you put these two characters who people really, really love together in a professional capacity, while at the same time sort of working within what you consider to be realistic police parameters, where, Eddie's not going to be working directly under her spouse.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised, in other words, that we see later on this season Eddie have a friend who needs something, and then all of a sudden the two are working together again in that capacity.
I'm just hoping that at some point they're going to figure out a way to just put them both on the same shift and have it so that either she's not working under him, maybe she's working with someone else, or maybe they're going to put somebody who's in between Jamie and the next person down, and then her that she can report to. There's got to be a way to allow them to be at the same place together at the same time, that she doesn't have to report. He's the only person that she can report to.
Let's be honest here, Blue Bloods. Your fictional TV show. I appreciate your commitment to realism all the time. I don't know if that giant sandwich was realistic, but I'm committed to... I understand and appreciate your commitment to everything else.
What about a sandwich melting people's fingers off?
That feels like something that would actually be in the blacklist that I talked about earlier tonight, but...
Yeah, if you're going to give me a sandwich is gonna melt somebody's fingers off. You can't just have Jamie and Eddie working at the same time at the precinct. Like, that's a stretch. But sandwich finger melting. Oh, well, we're all in on that.
Okay, well, all right, let's just get to it. We have teased the sandwich. We have taken enough bite out of the bread. Let's talk about this storyline, because Frank, this is an interesting moral dilemma for Frank, because this guy is kind of a heel, pension guy. You know, he has an incident. He has the sandwich burning incident. And now, after this, he's got his pension, and he's also doing his speeches.
Yep.
Which, you know, public speaking can be a powerful thing. But this guy, you know, you're getting pension from these people, and then you're basically going up on stage and being like, you know who sucks? These people.
These people, yeah.
It's just like, okay, well, Frank, I always feel like there's like a 1 to 10 scale about how much Frank wants to bang his head against the wall. I think he was about at a 9.5 for most of this episode.
Yeah, I feel like that as well. It was kind of a... He even said at the beginning, basically, why am I here? Why am I being brought into this? Don't I have people that will deal with this for me?
Yeah, and I could sense it. His mustache was twitching. He was unhappy. His glasses were getting foggy, and yet here he is having to deal with pension guy who was trying to find a way to have his cake, eat it too, and then throw the rest of his cake at the people who were giving him the cake in the first place.
That's right.
And not to have too many food metaphors, I'm going to get hungry here. But anyway, it was a classic Frank storyline in a lot of ways.
Yep.
Classic Frank compromise at the end of it.
Yep.
It did have a certain degree of added weight, though, because we did have a sandwich that was melting someone's fingers.
Yeah,
That's the main reason I'm gonna remember this.
Yeah, it is. I will absolutely remember this episode as the sandwich with the melting fingers.
It's more than I will remember this more than pretty much anything that happened in Danny Reagan's storyline, which I feel like we're starting to get to like crisis level with Danny Reagan on Blue Bloods, where you have a good character, Blue Bloods. You also have Baez, who I think is also a good character. They have a good rapport.
Yeah.
Why are you not giving them cases that, I'm going to get really excited about? Has the bar been set too high by the 1-2 punch of Lou Diamond Phillips and then also Danny Trejo on last season?
That might be part of it.
I understand you can't get Lou Diamond Phillips or Danny Trejo, though I would strongly suggest cloning Danny Trejo and putting him in every single thing imaginable. You got to find a way to sort of up the ante for this character.
Yeah, the premiere with Danny and him kicking open the car on fire and rescuing people, all of that was really exciting. And then since then, there hasn't been one story that I can sit here and actually bring back to you guys and be like, this was a moment, or this was a case that's really going to stick with me, or this is something that Danny really did so good in this case that is really going to be something that I carry with me. And I'm having a hard time really figuring out, is it because we had Lou Diamond Phillips last year and there were so many really intense, really good moments with him and with Danny? Am I comparing it to that? Or are the stories for Danny this year just not there? What do you think? I can't figure it out for myself, so maybe you can figure it out for you.
I don't know if I'm 100% on this, but I feel like it's a combination of things. I mean, yes, not having an actor like Lou Diamond Phillips on the show it does hurt it to a certain extent, but it's not like Lou was on every episode last season. He was only on a small handful of them. And I still feel like the cases surrounding that stuff were better. I just think for one reason or another, there aren't that many creative Danny storylines. And yes, him doing the rapper storyline last week, kind of memorable, but at the same time, we've seen Danny deal with high-profile cases before, so it wasn't like completely just mind-altering. Now, I have seen Donnie Wahlberg out filming in the middle of the woods, and I'm hoping that suggests something good is coming.
You are really stuck on that. So you must really feel like something is coming up with that.
I feel like just put him in weird places. Like, that's at least something that's going to make me stand out. It's like the time that they had him, at a basketball court last season. At least I can remember, oh, hey, it's Danny Reagan at a basketball court. So, I mean, just anything to kind of make these stories stand out. But let's preview briefly what's going to be coming up on episode 7, entitled Higher Standards, which feels really like the ultimate Blue Bloods title.
Yeah, it does.
If you could just imagine Frank just pounding the table saying something, I feel like it's that Higher Standards. Well, he twists his mustache and eats an avocado, to use your reference. But anyway, what do we know here?
I love Tom Selleck and his avocados. Okay. That's what I know.
Avocado farming, Tom Selleck. Okay, so Peter Herman coming back. We're seeing Jack. We haven't seen Jack Boyle on Blue Bloods in a little while. And, anytime Jack shows up, it automatically guarantees one thing. Trouble for Aaron.
Yeah, it usually does. The last time we saw him wasn't great. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and I think that, to me, is going to be one of the more interesting parts of this upcoming episode. I mean, Danny and Baez have another case, but right now it doesn't feel like it's elevating to where I need it to elevate. I don't think this is where Danny's going to be out in the woods.
Trekking around in the woods.
No, Danny is going to do his own version of American Horror Story 1984 later on this season, but we're also going to see Frank and Jamie at odds over, this time, people mistreating rookie cops on the street. How do you deal with it? Yeah. How do you come down on them? The promo tonight did make it seem as though Aaron is going to question whether or not an innocent man has been locked away, which, I feel like, that probably happens here or there if you're a prosecutor.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if you have any of these jobs, you need to have, some sort of mechanism to, cool down at the end of the day.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know if it's
Big sandwich?
A big sandwich. You get the big sandwich, you get some ice cream, and then you just get whatever that ridiculous TV was from earlier this season, and you just watch things on that, and maybe in the process of straining your eyes to actually see what's going on that TV.
You really hate Frank's TV.
He's the commissioner of the New York Police Department. You have the money to go to Best Buy and get you don't even have to get 4K. You can just get a slightly better TV.
He is a simple man with simple wants. He's got a TV that works. Why is he gonna? I would have a bigger TV. In fact, we do have a bigger TV, and we are not the police commissioner. Yeah. But maybe, watching TV besides a ball game here and there is not really something I would think that Frank would be doing a lot of. It's more of a having it in the background and, hear what the score is while he's doing a crossword or, farming his avocados.
How much would you love it if it just so turned out that Frank Reagan was secretly binge watching Friends and he would hum the theme song to himself and be like, why can't we have a central perk? Wouldn't that be just tremendous? Blue Bloods, I'm trying to help you here.
Are you though?
I don't know. All right, I'm going to go get a big sandwich, but for now, we want to know from you guys, what did you think about Blue Bloods Season 10, Episode 6? Where do you think we're going in Episode 7? Give us all your thoughts in the comments, and also give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking out the link in the description to the CARTERMATT store. Get a shirt like the one that I'm wearing, and we'll see you here next time.